If you ever met my twin sister Lena, you'd think she walked out of a glossy magazine cover. Straight A student. Prom queen. Everyone's favorite from the second she opened her mouth. She had this sparkly laugh, the kind people lean into just to hear again. She could lie straight to your face, and you'd thank her for the favor. And then there was me, Ava. The artsy one. The messy one. The girl with paint-stained fingers and a loud heart. I never really fit in at our prim and proper family dinners. I didn't want to be a lawyer or a dentist. I wanted to design things, build stories with my hands. From the outside, we looked like the perfect twin duo, mirror images in matching curls and blue eyes. But inside the walls of our house, there was always this invisible scale tipping in Lena's favor. She was Mom's pride, Dad's future, Grandma's little lady. And me? I was tolerated. It all started unraveling the summer before our junior year of college. Grandma had just moved into assisted living, and Mom had taken possession of her jewelry box until a proper safe could be set up. Inside that box was the crown jewel of family tradition, a vintage sapphire bracelet, passed down from great-grandma Esther. Worth a few $1,000s, but worth more in sentiment. Mom kept it in her dresser. She showed it to us once, made us promise to never touch it, and then zipped it into a little velvet pouch. A week later, it was gone. The morning it vanished. I was in the kitchen pouring cereal when Mom burst in red-faced, shaking. "Did you take Grandma's bracelet?" My spoon clanged against the bowl.
What? No.
Why would I? "It's missing, Ava," she said, breathless. "And your sister found it in your makeup bag." I felt the air suck out of the room. My heart thundered. She what? Right then, Lena walked in from the hallway, holding the little velvet pouch like it was radioactive. "I'm sorry," she said, voice trembling just the right amount. "I wasn't trying to snoop, but I borrowed Ava's concealer this morning, and I saw something shiny poking out." I stared at her, stunned. "You went through my stuff?" "I was just grabbing the concealer," she whispered. I didn't want to believe it either. That's when Mom looked at me differently. Not like her daughter. Like a stranger. The next hour was a blur of accusations. Dad came home from the grocery run to find Mom crying, Lena in full victim mode, and me frantically swearing I didn't do it. "It doesn't make sense," I kept saying. "Why would I steal it? For what? To wear around campus." Lena sat curled on the couch, dabbing her eyes with tissue. "She's been stressed," she mumbled. Maybe she wasn't thinking straight. That stung worse than the accusations. She made me sound unstable, unreliable, and she did it so calmly, so sweetly. By dinner time, I was grounded. My summer internship at the design studio downtown? Canceled. Mom didn't feel comfortable with me working around valuable inventory. But the worst part? Grandma wouldn't speak to me. At the next family brunch, she looked right through me as she passed the biscuits. My chest tightened like I couldn't breathe. No one asked if I was okay. No one questioned how a bracelet could end up perfectly planted in my things. No one asked why the golden girl just happened to stumble upon it, camera ready. The days that followed were the loneliest of my life. I stayed in my room, stopped answering texts. Every ding from my phone made me nauseous. At night, I stared at the ceiling wondering if I was going crazy. Did I accidentally take it? Was I sleepwalking? Was I broken? Lena, of course, became the family saint.
Poor girl, they said.
Must have been so hard on her, discovering that. She made TikToks about forgiveness, about healing after betrayal. One of them got over 100,000 likes. And guess who was the villain in every comment section? She deserved it. Entitled little thief. Every family has one. I barely recognized myself anymore. But the moment that changed everything came a week later. I was scrolling through our old text threads, back before things turned toxic, just trying to feel something human again. That's when I found it. A message from Lena, almost a year earlier. A casual joke at the time. "Grandma's safe is so dumb. I bet I could rob her blind and blame the cat lol." I remembered laughing it off.
But now?
That message hit like a freight train. Something inside me snapped. Not in anger. In clarity. Lena had always had this ability, to bend reality around her. But for once, I saw through it. And if she could stage this, frame me for this, what else had she manipulated? For the first time in weeks, I felt something warm ignite in my chest. Not rage, not sadness, resolve. She thought I was down for good. But she forgot one thing. I may have been the messy twin, but I never stayed down for long. After the family branded me a thief, it felt like I was living in someone else's life. I'd always thought betrayal would come with fireworks, dramatic fights, or slammed doors. But Lena's version was quieter, more elegant. She didn't scream. She didn't curse. She just smiled while everyone handed her the crown.
And me?
I became a cautionary tale. She was always a little off. I overheard Aunt Carol whisper to Mom one afternoon. I wasn't even supposed to be home, but I had forgotten my sketchbook and doubled back from the library. She's too sensitive, always in her own world. My mom didn't even defend me, just sighed. It's hard to explain the isolation of being falsely accused by your own blood. You start to question everything, your memory, your worth, your sanity. For days, I wondered, did I really take the bracelet and black it out? Was it some twisted subconscious act? That thought terrified me more than anything Lena had done. But then one night, curled under the covers in my childhood room, I remembered something. Freshman year of college, Lena had accidentally backed up her photos and files to our old shared iCloud account. She was too lazy to fix the settings. I never touched it, until now. I dug up my old iPad from the closet, logged into the account, and waited. And there it was. A folder named Random Stuff. Most of it was harmless, selfies, outfit photos, screenshots of texts with exes. But then I found something that made my stomach lurch. A set of pictures, time-stamped 2 days before the bracelet mysteriously appeared in my bag. Photo 1. My makeup bag, open on Lena's bedroom floor. Photo 2. The velvet pouch in her hand. Photo 3. The bracelet partially tucked inside. The final one? A close-up of her hand zipping the bag shut. I stared at the screen so long my eyes blurred. She documented it. Like a trophy. Like she wanted proof of her power. My hands trembled as I clicked on a second file, a voice memo labeled Practice. I pressed play. Mom, I didn't want to believe it. But when I saw it there, I just froze. I thought, maybe she made a mistake. Maybe Ava wasn't thinking clearly. She was rehearsing the lie. And she was flawless at it. I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I just sat in silence, the kind of silence that wraps around your spine like a wire. I had been trying to prove my innocence. Now, I realized it wasn't about proving anything. It was about exposing her. She wanted to play a performance?
Fine.
But I was going to give her a stage. In the days that followed, I stopped hiding. I rejoined the family group chat, responded with emojis. I even told Mom I'd be home for Christmas Eve dinner. Lena, of course, was glowing with her usual charm. She had her boyfriend, Dean, in tow, who only knew me as the sister who almost ruined Lena's trust. She had no clue what I knew. No idea I had receipts, audio, photos. But I knew something about Lena that she didn't know about me. She was obsessed with being liked. She didn't fear consequences. She feared embarrassment. Reputation was her currency. So I decided to bankrupt her. Christmas Eve came like a Showtime bell. Our house sparkled in fairy lights. The smell of cinnamon rolls drifted through the air, and Frank Sinatra crooned from the speakers like every year. On the surface, it was a classic family Christmas. But under it, there was tension in every glance. I hadn't seen most of them in months. The only reason they agreed to have me there was because Grandma insisted. I caught her watching me as I took off my coat, her eyes unsure, like she didn't know whether to hug me or lock up the silverware. But I smiled.
Politely. Calmly.
Because tonight wasn't about making them believe me. It was about making them see the truth for themselves. Game night, Mom announced like a cruise director. We're doing the slideshow challenge again. Everyone's favorite photos from the year. Lena lit up.
Of course she did.
That slideshow game was her spotlight. She thrived on curated memories, her posing at Lake Tahoe, her college debate trophy, her fake-candid laughing shots with Dean. I'd sat through enough of her highlight reels to know exactly how she played the crowd. But this year, I came prepared. I made one too, I said, holding up my USB. Oh, Lena said, voice tight. You did? There was a flicker in her eyes. Just a flicker.
I saw it.
The first few slides were harmless. I wanted them relaxed. Dad chuckling over burnt burgers. Grandma asleep with a cat. Lena grinning at her birthday brunch. Laughter floated through the room. The air got lighter. Then I clicked to slide 17. The room shifted. The photo on the screen was blurry but clear enough. Lena's hand, holding Grandma's sapphire bracelet. In the corner, my makeup bag lay open. Lena laughed nervously. Wait, what's...
Click.
Slide 18. The bracelet being lowered into my bag.
Click.
Slide 19. A screenshot of her message from last year. I bet I could steal that bracelet and make it look like Ava did it, lol.
Silence.
Mom slowly sat down. Dad's brow furrowed, face frozen in that look he used to give me when I was 5 and broke his favorite mug. Aunt Carol's jaw actually dropped. Is this some kind of joke? Lena whispered. No joke, I said evenly. It's all time-stamped. Photo metadata. Backed up to the shared iCloud from freshman year. She just never thought I'd check. Anyone could've. This could be photoshopped, she snapped, eyes darting. She's trying to make me look bad. You did that yourself, I said. I opened the folder on the laptop and dragged over audio files. I didn't want to believe it, Mom. Lena's voice echoed from the speakers. Maybe she wasn't thinking clearly. Dad turned to her. You rehearsed that? I know. That's out of context. She's twisting this. But the panic in her voice? That wasn't twisted. It was real. Grandma rose slowly. She didn't say a word, just left the room. The weight of that moment hit harder than any slap could. Lena tried to stand, but her knees wobbled. Dean leaned away from her like she was contagious. You let us shame her, Aunt Carol said sharply. You let us ostracize your own sister for months. Lena looked at me, eyes glassy. Ava, I'm sorry. No, you're not, I said. You're just sorry you got caught. After that, everyone started talking at once. But I didn't need to hear the noise. I just watched Lena, the way her perfect world shrank in real time. The lies she'd spun so easily now tightening around her neck like vines. And me?
I didn't cry.
I didn't gloat. I just breathed. For the first time in months, I felt whole. Not just seen, but vindicated. Later, Mom pulled me aside in the hallway. Her eyes were red-rimmed. I didn't want to believe you'd do something like that, she whispered. But I didn't want to believe Lena could either. I nodded. You didn't want to believe either twin was broken. She winced. I'm so sorry, Ava. We should have listened. We should have known better. I wanted to say, you should have. But I just said, I know. Because I wasn't here for apologies. I was here to take back my name. The morning after our family Christmas Eve blew up, the house was silent. No carols. No laughter. No cinnamon rolls. Just the lingering scent of truth. Lena had vanished before dawn. Packed her bags, didn't say goodbye. Mom found a scribbled note on the kitchen table. I need space. Don't call. No apology. No explanation. Just escape. Classic Lena. I thought I'd feel triumphant. I imagined I'd want to dance around the living room, maybe even post a petty little justice served TikTok.
But instead,
I felt hollow. Because the truth is, revenge doesn't fix everything. It doesn't rewind time. It doesn't rebuild the version of you that was slowly chipped away when no one believed in you. But it does crack the glass. It lets the light in. Grandma called me that afternoon.
She cried.
I failed you, sweetheart, she whispered through tears. I believed what was easy, not what was right. I didn't expect forgiveness from her. Or anyone, really. But when she asked me to come over and help her organize her photo albums again, the same way we used to when I was little, I went. And it mattered. In the weeks that followed, everything shifted. My parents were awkward at first, walking on eggshells, unsure of how to make it right. I didn't give them a checklist. I just gave them time. And in that space, they showed up. Dad helped me update my design portfolio. Mom reached out to my old internship manager, and, to my shock, they agreed to take me back. Your mom told us everything, my manager said. You're stronger than most people we know. That's when I realized being believed is powerful, but believing in yourself is even more so. One night, weeks later, I got a message from Lena. You got what you wanted. Hope you're happy. That was it. No accountability. No remorse. Just bitterness in a text box. I typed, then deleted a dozen replies before landing on just 5 words. I got what I deserved. And I meant it. Not the drama. Not the spectacle. But the clarity. The peace that comes when you stop begging for people to see your worth and start standing in it. Months passed. I got my first freelance design client. I moved into a shared apartment with 2 other art students. I started smiling at my reflection again, not because it looked perfect, but because it finally looked like me. Not the shadow of a twin. Not the black sheep of a family. Just Ava.
Whole.
Healing. Still messy, but finally free. And every now and then, I think back to that sapphire bracelet. Funny how something so small, just a piece of jewelry, nearly shattered everything. But it also revealed the truth. Lena framed me to protect a lie. I exposed her to protect myself. And in doing so, I learned that revenge doesn't have to be cruel. Sometimes, the best revenge is just telling the truth, and letting the truth speak louder than anyone's lie ever could. Thank you so much for listening to my story. Your support means everything. If this story touched you or made you think, please subscribe to our channel for more real, powerful stories.